Hey there, guys. All right, today we're watching another alternate history hub video, even though I know I recently watched one. I saw this one and I was like, I have to watch it. This is the history of the world according to ancient aliens. I grew up in a time when they were very popular on television, so the show is so much, it's in my brain. I remember it. It was it was something. Like, even as a kid, I was like, this is stupid. But anyways, let's not waste any time. Let's dive right in and hear exactly how this is going to go down.
There are questions about the universe. Are we alone? How were the pyramids truly built? What are they
Fucking with people in stone.
keeping secret in Area 51? So many questions, and Ancient Aliens
Alien
has none of
penises.
these answers.
Some of the extraterrestrials, they had sex with wonderful earthly females.
Yes, it's 2021, and I'm talking about Ancient Aliens 10 years after the joke died.
No. Making fun of ancient aliens never dies. This show is stupid.
We all collectively agreed as a society that this show was the equivalent of your drunk uncle ranting during Thanksgiving dinner. We moved on as a species, hand in hand agreeing to forget this show existed. So how come it's still airing new episodes after 16 seasons?
They're still going? I thought it was canned.
Who is still watching this? How does this have enough content to discuss aliens that are ancient for almost 200 episodes? And we all know the hot takes the series is famous for.
Did ancient aliens using anti-gravity and sonic levitation technology help early humans build the ancient wonders of the world? Moses and the Israelites acquired a supernatural source of energy at Mount Sinai.
Huh?
They did so in a way that was designed to tap into the Earth's natural energy.
And these are not simply one-offs or suggestions. Every implied theory, every question, might as well be replaced with, yes, this did actually happen. It's like me saying there could be tiny pink goblins underneath my bed.
Okay, but there are.
Mainstream
real.
scientists say that goblins don't unplug my phone charger during the night, but my niche community of goblin enthusiasts think otherwise. And here's the evidence. Instead of goblins, these chuckleheads say aliens. It's a secret lore spanning the entire history of the Earth that only these ancient astronaut theorists have uncovered. So what is this forbidden knowledge when summarized in a neat package?
There's also no way they take themselves seriously. Like, the moment the B-roll footage, the fucking the behind the scenes footage for that show, it's probably them just roasting the fuck out of their audience. Roasting the people that actually believe them, because there's no way they have to be doing that because they know it's what makes them money, and they stick to it because they're like, I want money. I don't care about spreading misinformation. Or honestly, a lot of this stuff can fall under racism and xenophobia, because of that's a debate for that's another conversation that will take too long that I am not entirely qualified to really talk about.
Real history that only these fantastic men have pieced together. I had to know, and I knew others needed to know as well. So I strapped myself in and watched every single Ancient Aliens episode, taking notes
No. Why would you do that to yourself? Why would you do
along the way to piece together a timeline of the world that this
Oh
show
my god. That's impressive. I wonder how many inconsistencies are there going to be?
believes
Are they going to contradict
actually
themselves?
happened. So prepare yourself, as you may not look at the universe in the same way again.
I'm ready. I'm strapped in.
You know, despite watching every single episode, I still don't know how all of this started. And for that, we have Knowing Better, one of the first experts in this field.
Ancient alien or ancient astronaut theory didn't really become a thing until Eric von Daniken's book, Chariots of the Gods, which came out in 1968. And it really took off after the documentary in 1970. While studying the Bible at his Christian boarding school, Daniken noticed that some of the prophet's heavenly visits could be misinterpretations of extraterrestrial encounters. With that in mind, he started looking at other mythologies. Rather quickly, he noticed that the Sumerians, Hindus, Chinese, and even the Aztecs had similar stories. And this alien intervention explained a lot about their culture. Why does every civilization have a flood myth and tales about dragons and giants? Why did they all build pyramids? And how could these primitive people possibly—
I know they're probably going to say the logical, I hope that they bring up the logical reasoning for it. Now, of course, y'all already know my dragon theory. I personally believe it's just the dinosaur bones. And also lizards. Like, we have lizards everywhere. Scaly things. Like, in various, like, I think. What were the other things? Hold on.
explained a lot about their culture. Why—
Oh, the fucking god visits or whatever. Oh, the floods. The floods. It's because rivers flood when it rains. That's why every single society has a flood myth. When water fall from sky, water in river get higher, and when water get higher, it flood. That's the definition. That's why everyone has a fucking flood myth. And if you actually look in detail at the different mythologies, you will notice the differences between each mythology and the relationship to the flood myths, and specifically the water gods, right? There is a, I mean, you look just to, now of course the Middle East is a bit of a, is not really a correct term anymore, I don't think, but I don't know a better term. You look at Egypt and Iraq, very closely together, right? They are geographically pretty close. Their ancient gods, in regards to like the flooding stories and stuff like that with the Nile and the Tigris and Euphrates, they have very different relationships and views on, because right, the Nile, I remember, if I could be mixing them up, but I think this was correct. The Nile had a predictable flood time. The Tigris and Euphrates were a bit more unpredictable. And so, well, we see very different relationships from those, the gods responsible, that the people believe the gods were responsible. Not alien visits.
Why does every civilization have a flood myth and tales about dragons and giants? Why did they all build pyramids? And how could these primitive people possibly know more about the stars than the Europeans? I'm not saying they learned it from aliens, but they must have learned it from somewhere.
So now you know what we're dealing with. A very sane and reasonable alternative to mainstream history and science, and religion, and reason, is what a mainstream historian would say, but here, we're all ancient astronaut theorists. So where to begin? It's simple. It all began 450,000 years ago. Aliens came across
Wouldn't that be pre-Homo sapien?
Earth and discovered Neanderthals, along with the other Homo species.
Oh, no.
Earth was the prized planet. Not only was it rich in resources such as water, but also with gold. Gold is valuable, you know, and the aliens wanted it. But what to do? It's not like they traveled across dimensions or the galaxy and have the ability to just strip mine the planet.
No, you silly livers! No!
They have a better idea. Create an artificial slave species in their image. The first two humans were placed into what we would call the Garden of Eden, but really this was a genetic playground for
Fucking Assassin's Creed-ass shit.
the aliens. Yet not all was well. Some aliens wished to give humans intelligence, and this was interpreted as the snake in the garden. This started a civil war within the alien civilization.
Literally fucking Assassin's... Wait, no, or did Assassin's Creed pull this from these fucking idiots?
one which humans interpreted as a war between good and evil across all cultures. This was depicted in the Hindu scripts or in the Bible. Satan was actually a roguelike alien who gave humans the first spark of true intelligence.
And this isn't just Satan. We see the same story repeated across religions. There are numerous examples of higher powers giving mankind some knowledge or tool they weren't supposed to have. Remember Prometheus giving humanity the gift of fire? It's also a common theme in mythology for the gods to split into factions over what knowledge humans should or shouldn't have, or alien factions in this case.
Humans were just left alone during this war and bred with other hominid species. This mixing with ape genes was the original sin of the human race, and aliens struck early humanity down in punishment. The other hominids were destroyed as the aliens decided to wipe out the world of impure human species, which was also known as the Great Flood. Noah, being half alien, was deemed worthy to continue the human species by the aliens, bringing 2 of every animal in a spaceship to survive until the destruction was over. After this, humanity was restarted in ancient Sumeria, where the first civilization was built. It was here that the aliens ruled as god kings, either instructing kings to rule by their hand or outright ruling themselves. The humans had no capacity to understand what they were witnessing. The technology was just so advanced, outside of their comprehension, they could only describe such alien feats as the power of gods. Humans were created as a slave race. Even though they had intelligence, they had no control of themselves. Every invention, every single action taken in the growth of civilization was taught by some great outside force. After this origin for humanity, mankind settled down into various civilizations across the world. We now have the ancient aliens' Age of Heroes. You know a mythology? You know a hero? It's all of them. Every tale of Hercules, Gilgamesh, Beowulf, Chinese dragon gods, and even Aztec Quetzalcoatl, it's all real. Your values may be shaken or destroyed, but that's okay. They should be. Ancient Aliens is a staunchly atheist show after all. It has no time for evidence that isn't based on science or logic.
Is it possible by reaching this altered state of consciousness
that evidence of extraterrestrial intervention in the construction and placement of these incredible structures
to create a great flood?
Humans simply couldn't understand what technology they were seeing, and so they worshipped their alien overlords as gods. This logic transfers to every single religion. For the Greeks and Romans, they would be living on Mount Olympus. Zeus himself was leader of the aliens with his spaceship plopped on top of the mountain, his massive energy weapon, misthought of as a lightning bolt. Egyptian gods were alien experiments, and Egyptian pharaohs may have been aliens themselves. Look at that head. No refuting that. Even Yahweh, heaven, hell, angels, demons, it's all aliens. The aliens wouldn't stop right there though. This was the Age of Heroes after all. And what were the heroes of old mythology? Half man, half god.
Poseidon fell in love with a beautiful human girl, and he made her pregnant.
Aliens bred.
Is that an actual fucking soundbite from the show? Because that's embarrassing.
With human women. And yes, this does include the Virgin Mary. Fucking hell. Aliens overrule all human societies across the ancient world, including Atlantis, which was a real place. Aliens come up from the ground in holes between dimensions, teaching humans how to build anything. Buildings, stone monuments, dirt mounds, and most importantly, pyramids. But why? Why would an intergalactic alien civilization be interested in humans building temples? Well, ancient astronaut theorists have many theories. First, aliens wanted to prop humanity up, and the best way to improve them is to teach them how to build monuments, either by giving them the knowledge of how to do so, or building the monuments themselves. The second is for blood sacrifice. Why were so many ancient civilizations into sacrificing for their gods? It's simple. The gods told them to. They wanted human blood. The third is to have every monument on Earth be specifically built on areas of geomagnetic significance. As you see, the entire globe has a secret geomagnetic grid that, if harnessed, can be used by the aliens to either fuel their space empire or simply to travel across the globe faster. Yeah.
Through energy that might have been given to us by an alien.
These brick and stone structures have the ability to manipulate magnetic fields and even gravity in such a way that it powers and benefits alien civilizations. Humans never actually built anything of their own will.
never.
Humanity does not have the agency nor intelligence to do anything.
Okay, humans did do things of their own free will. They just received occasional guidance from extraterrestrial powers to guide humanity on its path. A little intergalactic inspiration never hurt anybody.
The wheel, aqueducts, smelting of steel for swords, even language itself, all were taught by aliens for reasons. Reasons outside our puny little minds. It's all a part of the plan. After all of the creation and sexy times were over, the aliens were content in what they had done. They plopped humans into the world and left humans alone to continue on by themselves. Their extraterrestrial influence and monuments left to be misinterpreted by mainstream historians who believed ancient people could actually construct pyramids by themselves. Thus, the history of ancient aliens comes to an end. The ancient astronaut theory in a nutshell. Wait, there's how many more seasons?
Oh no.
The first century comes around and aliens are still on Earth. Eventually, the old gods leave and the new gods arrive. The aliens have been meddling in the Middle East for some time. Jerusalem sees a lot of alien interference, like on the Temple Mount, which acts as a portal with aliens. And in this region of the world, it's going to be quite important in the coming centuries. But what changes this? Constantine saw a cross in the sky, and after winning a battle, Christianity was legalized in the empire. But was that really a cross? Oh, you know what it is. Aliens stay around to dabble and influence wherever they feel like. A city in India is nuked off the map by aliens. Muhammad's journey to Jerusalem was just a little thing for fun. Joan of Arc meets with an alien who gives her a sword and tells her to go defend France against the English. And for the English, King Arthur, who was a real human being, not only was able to pull the sword from the stone because of alien biometric technology, but he was even helped out by the Lady in the Lake, or Alien of the Lake, who handed him Excalibur, a high-tech alien weapon. Other than appearing as brief religious
Fucking Ben
images,
10.
aliens didn't really do much on the record for about 1500 years, mostly just overseeing the great job humanity was doing with those Mongol invasions, the Viking raids, and the Black Plague.
Yay.
They just do little things throughout that time to continue altering humanity.
The Black Plague in particular was engineered by an extraterrestrial we know as the Grim Reaper. In every depiction of the plague we can find, there's a cloaked figure floating above all the dying humans. This wasn't the Angel of Death, this was an alien being.
Thank you. It's kind of like when you're in a SimCity game and
hurts.
just want to add some natural
hurts.
disasters to mix stuff up. That was until Da Vinci. That's right, the Renaissance, the resurgence of culture long lost in Europe. Aliens did that.
Oh, I'm gonna need ibuprofen or something for like a headache after this fucking shit. Oh my god.
Introducing technology or new technology directly into the head of Leonardo da Vinci and the great thinkers of the Renaissance. They gave him ideas of medicine and even this tank thing that just so happens to look like something else.
Oh my
Christopher
God.
Columbus sees a glimpse of an alien ship while sailing to the New World, and we all know how influential the aliens were in the Americas. All the pre-Columbian civilizations of the Americas have been interacting with aliens for centuries. But we're not talking about America, we're talking about America.
Oh.
That's right, the founders
Rah.
knew aliens existed
Eagle
too.
screech.
Jefferson, Washington, they all knew. They even put an intergalactic symbol of peace in Washington, D.C. to prove our alliance with our alien overlords. You really thought aliens were done altering our planet? We're just in time for the Industrial Revolution. It did happen pretty fast. The aliens were planting some pretty naughty ideas of the combustion engine and electricity. The only way us modern humans would ever know how to do anything is by alien intervention. Hell, the aliens even go to the Wild West to be seen by cowboys. Maybe even meet them.
For clarification, Ancient Aliens, like any educational content, must occasionally require sponsors to keep the lights on. In one episode, it's sponsored by the hit 2011 film Cowboys and Aliens. One can only imagine what it's like to shamelessly promote a product while also theorizing outlandish history.
Thank you, Context Izzy, thank you.
Oh my.
Unrelated, this video was sponsored by NordVPN. Oh no, it's the ETIP Stealers, an elite group of underground super hackers. Wow, those last 19 centuries sure were fun. I wonder what the next century will bring.
Is it possible that the Nazis perfected these things? Or is it possible that the aliens looked like Nazis in uniforms? How bizarre would that be?
They have to just be ultra committed to a bit. They can't actually believe the shit that they're saying. They can't. I refuse to believe anyone's. I refuse. I refuse.
Alright, I see where this is going. I think you get the shtick by now. Aliens did everything. Just everything. Any important influential thing that your average 7th grader would know about, the aliens did it. By the 20th century, they not only had met with Nazis and perhaps taught them to create a portal between time and space, but they also taught humans how to build nuclear weapons, even though they warned humans a decade later not to use nuclear weapons. Name any event, any situation, any person or place ever, and it was involved with aliens. The Spanish flu, aliens. Any US president, they all know. Antarctica has a hole in the middle of it that houses an alien civilization. I watched 16 seasons of this show, just for this bit, and you know what? It wasn't worth it.
No.
I wanted to uncover every wacky claim, every bizarre take, and after pulling back that curtain, you know what I found? Nothing. The most generic idea you have of Ancient Aliens without watching a full season is that they claim anything and everything is involved with aliens. It just takes a history book or a religious book and scratches out key figures with aliens. And that's the point. There's a reason why Ancient Aliens is still on the air after 16 seasons. All they have to do is simply look back on anything that has ever happened and simply copy-paste E.T. into the mix. You do this for 10 episodes a pop, and you never have to worry about content a day in your life. And even with literally everything at their fingertips, the entire series probably only focuses on like 30 claims. In just the first 3 seasons alone, the Bermuda Triangle is brought up 10 times. And it's not just in passing. They repeat full segments, with a reworded script and different footage. They don't just plagiarize history, they plagiarize themselves.
Okay, that's not fair. Ancient Aliens explores many different angles. Take the Ark of the Covenant. Was it a communications device so Moses could contact God? Was it a food or mana source? What about a bomb? The stories say it was radioactive. It could be any of these things, and we discuss those possibilities in multiple different episodes.
Oh, you're still here. Well, that's a little awkward. Okay, well, even with that said, that just sounds...
Was that the Mothman?
You're still here. Well, that's a little awkward. Okay, well...
The fuck am I looking at?
Well, even with that said, that just sounds like an excuse to reuse old content.
We just like to explore all of the possibilities for each topic.
Ah, yes. Topics like gods and aliens, angels and aliens, aliens and monsters, aliens and sacred places, aliens and deadly cults, aliens, gods and heroes, aliens and the creation of man, the Viking gods, magic of the gods, the Satan conspiracy, aliens in the Lost Ark, faces of the gods, aliens and superheroes, and this is just up to season 10. Anything a god was ever said to do in any religious text, aliens did it. Which brings me to the ultimate core of why this show exists, and what the ancient astronaut theory really is.
It's sold 7 million 16 pages of astonish. Oh my god.
Ancient Aliens is not a history show using science fiction elements. It doesn't even take elements from science fiction. Ancient Aliens is a religion. It's gods are aliens. Aliens so powerful and influential they control the every whim of mortal man, and their great deeds cannot even be fathomed by us, except for a few enlightened individuals. And most importantly, denouncing any gods other than their own. All the gods that ever existed or were depicted were not simply a part of mythology. They were real physical beings, extraterrestrials. So Ancient Aliens goes through any religious text that has ever existed and reads it as literally as possible. Clearly, the gods do not exist as they were depicted, so the only other explanation would be alien contact. Ancient Aliens isn't just a religion, it's creationism with extra steps. In fact, the only thing keeping it from really being creationism is saying dinosaurs and humans lived together. Oh, come on.
Might ancient depictions of dinosaurs really be proof that humans and dinosaurs did, at one time, coexist?
They're stupid. In summary conclusion, let's just
On to
end
season
this.
16, you can tell that nobody really wants to be there anymore. I don't want to be here. It's repeated the same evidence of Bermuda Triangle, Stonehenge, and Mayan temples for so long, but it continues on, because it's easy money. History Channel is a dying network in part because it decided to promote half-baked mythology like this show, or Pawn Stars.
You know I can't eat donuts, I gotta have lean protein.
He is on a diet. We shouldn't be eating the stuff around him.
All right, that's okay. You can't have none, chump.
I'm not sweating this.
But now it's made its deal with the alien devil, and it's tied to its most profitable show.
Here you go.
That's just mainstream history and archaeology closing your mind to the possibilities. Keep believing whatever it is they taught you in school. I'll keep knowing the truth.
Alright, well, better wrap this up. Since Ancient Aliens, or the Ancient Astronaut Theory, is pretty much a religion, like any religion, it has to have a good end-of-the-world story, right? Oh boy, does it. It's just the apocalypse. The literal biblical apocalypse. 4 horsemen, the battle between heaven and hell, Sam has to become the devil, but you know, the alien versions of that. 2 warring alien factions come to Earth to fight over the ultimate fate of the planet and mankind. The world is destroyed as all the calamities you can ever imagine occur. Mankind, which was never in control of itself, is destroyed by 2 alien factions none of us even know exist except for these guys on this History Channel show. We should have known, and it's all set to happen on December 21st, 2012.
That hurt my head. That hurt. I got a headache. I hated that. I hated that. That was so fucking stupid. That was so fucking stupid. Oh my god. I have nothing to say. I'm just like dumbfounded by the stupidity, really. I hope you guys enjoyed me just silently frustrated because I couldn't vocalize my frustration. Thanks, alternate history. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.